Hello and welcome to CKE 10001's gaming channel. In this video we'll be looking at my Overlord Door Standby Set 1 deck profile. So just to keep in mind, this deck build only is using currently Set 1 cards because Set 2 hasn't been released in English yet. But once Set 2 does come out, there will be probably a better standby variant to build and play. But anyways, now we'll take a look at the level 0s first. I'm running 3 copies of Unreliable Nature Manipulator Mare. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. If that card is a level 1 or higher, this card gets plus 2000 power until the end of turn. The second effect is at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. If that card is a grotesque race or Nazari character, you may move this card to an open position on your center stage. So that's a 3. Then I'm running 3 copies of Master of Great Tomb of Nazariq Ainz. It has 2 auto effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1, take a hit. If you do, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 character from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. And the second effect is when this card becomes reversed, if this card's battle opponent is opponent's level 0 or lower, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock into his or her waiting room, and then put that character into your opponent's clock. And I'm also running 3 copies of the Shaltir Brainstormer. Crimson Red Battle Maiden Shaltir. It has 2 effects. The first is auto. When this card is placed on stage from hand, choose 1 character in your opponent's center stage, and that character gets minus 500 power until the end of turn. And then it's a self-rest Brainstormer that salvages. Then I'm running 3 copies of Nature of a Floor Guardian Albedo. It has 2 auto effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from hand, you may put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. If you do, choose one of your other grotesque or Nazari characters, and that character gets plus 1 soul for each soul trigger icon of the card put into your waiting room until end turn. And then when your Climax is placed in your Climax area, you can return this card to your hand. If you do, choose one of your characters, and that character is plus 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then I'm running 4 one-ofs at level 0. I'm running 1 copy of To the Most Beloved One Albedo. It's an on-play, pay 1, pitch a card, search your deck for a grotesque or Nazari character. 1 Infiltration of the Capital Shaltir. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may choose 1 cost 0 or lower character in your opponent's center stage and return it to his or her hand. The second effect is when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, pitch a Climax. If you do, choose a Climax in your waiting room, return to hand. So it's a Climax swapper. Then I'm running 1 copy of Nazariq's Maid Intern Tuare. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1, pitch a card. If you do, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose 1 card from one of them, put it in your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. And then I'm running 1 copy of Strongest Magic Caster Ainz. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may put 1 card from your hand into your waiting room. If you do, choose a Shooting Star event in your waiting room, return to your hand. The second effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may pay the cost, which is discard a card. If you do, choose 1 Fallen Down in your waiting room and return it to your hand. That's the other event, but I don't believe I am running it. Then I'm running 3 copies of Death Knight. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous. All of your other characters get the following ability. This card cannot side attack, and when this card is placed on stage from your hand or by the auto effect of Overlord Ainz, this card gets plus X power until the end of turn. X equals the number of grotesque or Nazari characters you have times 500. And then I'm running 2 copies of the level 1 Shaltir. First to 3rd Floor Guardian Shaltir. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that is a grotesque race or Nazari character, this card gets plus 2000 power until end of turn. And when this card becomes reversed, if this card's battle opponent is level 1 or lower, you reverse that character. And I'm running 1 Albedo 102K backup. Defender of the Throne Albedo. There it is. Then I'm running 3 copies of the level 2 Ainz that can come down at level 1. If you have 4 more grotesque race or Nazari characters, this card gets minus 1 level while in your hand. And Climax combo, when Shaltir's resurrection is placed on a Climax area, if this card is in your center stage, you may choose one of your other grotesque or another 3 characters and stand it. And that's off of Standby Climax. And I'm running 3 copies of 5th Floor Guardian's Cocytus. This card gets +1 for each of your other grotesque or Nazari characters. When this card direct attacks, you may choose one grotesque race or Nazari character in your waiting room and put it in your stock. Then 2 copies of Cute Blunder Albedo. Continuous assist. All your characters in front of this card gets +500. Gets plus X power. X equals to the character's level times 500. And you can bond to Overlord Eins, which is your level 3, and has an active ability. Rest this card, choose one of your Overlord Eins, and that character gets plus 2500 power until end of turn. Then we have the promo Rest Backup. And then 3 early play Albedos. Infinite Loyalty Albedo. If you have 4 more Grotesque Race or Nazari characters, you can this card gets -1 level while in your hand. And when this card during your turn, this card gets plus 500 power for each of your other Grotesque Race or Nazari characters. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, discard a card. If you do, put the top card of the clock in your stock. That's the stock healer. Then I'm running 3 copies of level 3. It has 3 effects. During your turn, this card gets 500 power for each of your other Grotesque or Nazari characters. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from one of them, put in your hand, put the rest in your waiting room. Climax combo. When this card's battle point becomes reversed, if Grasp Heart is in your Climax area, you can pay 3, discard a card, and return this card to your hand. If you do, put that character on top of your opponent's deck, and then choose one definite character in your waiting room and put it on the stage position that this card was on. And I'm running 2 copies of Energetic Beast Tamer Aura. If this card is in your center stage, all your Grotesque or Nazari characters get plus 1500 power. And when this card's battle point converts, you can discard 2 characters from your hand. And if you do, put the character into your opponent's clock. 1 copy of the Albedo level 3 Endless Devotion Albedo. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can heal 1. And when this card direct attacks, you can pay 1, pitch a card. If you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent. And then the level 3 event at 2 copies, Shooting Star. Choose one of the following effects and perform it. Deal 2 damage to your opponent, or choose 2 cards in your clock, put them into your waiting room, and put this card into your memory, or choose one of your characters and that character plus 8,000 power until the end of opponent's next turn. And then the Climax cards are Grasp Heart, which is level 3 combo on a door, and Shaltyr's Resurrection on standby. Climax. Alright? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Check oncoredex.com in the link in the description below to see an overview of this deck build.